Joe Vaklovic with Standard Grain. Joe, as we talk about what's been going on with planting, obviously we've finally seen some warm weather this week. A lot of folks out in the field. What do you think the chances are of us catching up with kind of average pace here?
I don't think we're going to catch up to the average pace anytime soon, but I do believe that planting has been fairly active and ongoing in a lot of areas this week. There are problem areas, definitely. The northwest part of the Corn Belt is problematic. Southern Minnesota, North Dakota, maybe parts of South Dakota. There is some widespread chatter regarding either switching out of corn into another crop or maybe even prevent plant. You're only a couple weeks away from your final corn planting date in North Dakota when it comes to crop insurance, and a little bit more than that in Minnesota. So there's that sort of chatter floating around, and I don't know if that's realized or not. I have my doubts about whether or not USDA's March intentions were accurate to begin with, but that sort of chatter in itself is friendly because, as most people see it, and we haven't seen USDA's report yet, but as most people see it, this new crop corn balance sheet cannot tolerate lower acres or any sort of big yield problem. It's really tight. So it's an interesting situation, definitely.
Well, and you mentioned that you can't really tolerate, a tighter balance sheet, but we're so far behind now, it feels like that's what we should start to expect here.
Yeah, and I think the market is reflecting that to some extent. We had a sell-off in the corn market to start off this week, and I think some of that had to do with pressure in the outside markets. I think some of it had to do with a better-looking planting window. But yeah, there's going to be questions about the crop. I mean, from now through harvest, people are going to question how big is the crop? Was it a trend yield? Were the acres there? The issue with acres is that we don't get our next update from USDA until the end of June in that planted acreage report. So we're kind of left in the dark in regard to that situation for another 6 weeks now.
Yeah, there'll be plenty of time for people to speculate
Yep.
and try to figure out exactly how many acres went in. Joe, sure appreciate it. Thank you for being here.
Yep.
We're back with more Ag Day coming up in just a minute.
For more information about Standard Grain and its services, call Joe at 312-462-4438.